think that in human existence, the greatest things have happened because someone dared to imagine something that was not. When I was growing up, people would tell me, you should read things that are real. Read books that are real. Why do you read these books that aren't real? What value is there in things that aren't real? And my response was always, what value is there in what we have? Shouldn't we be looking toward what we don't have, what we can imagine? And I think fantasy, the genre, it's like exercises for your imagination. The best things in the world came because someone dared to imagine a world that is different from our own, and that's what fantasy does. I'm very lucky compared to some of my contemporaries in that I was really terrible when I started. And that might not sound like luck to you, but what it meant was I spent about 10 years learning my craft and the art of writing, and I had to work so hard at it because I was so bad at the beginning that I had to build really good habits. Writing every day, writing while I had a full-time job, finishing 13 novels before I sold one. It was the best thing that could have happened to me was being told, "You're terrible, keep working." I try to write stories this way, fractal storytelling, where if you just want a great story and you can read the story and you will not feel overwhelmed and lost, but if you want to dig in deep, if you want to join the fandom and you want to zoom in and look at the details, that they work, they're interconnected, and they're connected to all these other stories, why a 10-book series that's going to take 30 years to write? Then I get into it and I remember. I love epic fantasy because it gives you the time to really feel like a world is real. This is what epic fantasy is about. It's about this term we call in English sense of immersion. And Grandpa Tolkien, he started this, right? He started it going way back to the first epic fantasy books, which were The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. He put maps in these books. And these maps, they aren't just maps that were drawn by the publisher. They were the maps the characters carried through those books. He understood what the purpose of this genre was, which is to let us as readers really get to know some characters, see the world through their eyes, and see them experience extreme situations that can only happen in a fantasy book. And I couldn't do that which I love in a story that was brief. And I will be able to do my vision for the 10 books, but it is kind of a love letter to the epic fantasy genre. And every time I get into it, I'm reminded this is why I'm doing it, and I absolutely love it.